Here is a lovely picture of Chopper all kind of hulked up and about to kick some ass there. Brothers and sisters, if you like this drawing and more like it, remember to follow me on all of the social networks.
One Piece, Chapter 184, Moletown Block 4.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome, action-packed tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with, Sanji and Mr. Two Bon Clay looking like they're starting to go at it and fight, and then, of course, showing us Usopp coming to help Chopper, and Chopper revealing that, that Miss Merry Christmas is actually a mole. That's her power, and that Mr. Four is in fact a cleanup hitter, and is able to hit these exploding baseballs. And Chopper's pretty much getting his ass kicked. So that's where things left off. That's where things pick up, and this particular chapter is really it's all the Usopp and Chopper chapter and their face off with that pair, with the Baroque Works pair of Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas. So things start out and they're not looking very good for us. Chopper's like, whoa, you gotta dodge that, and there's one of the exploding balls coming, and he's like, I told you he's a cleanup hitter with a dog. And Usopp goes, yeah, and I told you, I don't know what the hell that means. So then we go and we actually see the ball machine, I guess you would say, that provides these exploding balls, and it's a dog, a dachshund-looking dog built into a gun, or it's a gun in the shape of a dog, however you want to wrap your mind around it, and his name is Lassoo. he's his dog slash gun, his favorite gun, Mr. Four's favorite gun, that has a slight cold. So we go and we see that this thing is similar to like a if you ever go into like batting cages, to play baseball, to hit the, it's like a pitching machine, This thing goes and is able to spit out a ball, and Mr. Four, as a cleanup hitter, is able to take his giant bat and swing it and knock these timed explosives towards whoever it is he's trying to blow up. So the first few pages are basically them dodging these different explosions that are coming at them and trying to dodge them, and Usopp and Chopper desperately trying to figure out how the hell they're going to beat them, At one point, Usopp just kind of goes and gives up, and he's like, all right, man, just, basically just, want my burial at sea and this and that, and Chopper's like, I thought you came to help, and Usopp's like, there's nothing we can do against them. What the hell, So we wind up going and seeing then, too, he goes and he takes a break. Mr. Four takes a quick break from hitting and puts his bat down and leans it up against this brick wall, and the wall collapses, and they're like, Jesus Christ, how heavy can that bat be that he has? Is he even human, So then Miss Merry Christmas, the aching back, old grandma and rollers type of ding-dong, and it just what she reminds me of is somebody from, she reminds me of like Edith Bunker from All in the Family. I think that's what it was called. Or, or one of the Golden Girls or something like that, you know what I mean? Like with nightgown and rollers. Anyway, she appears, and she's, what are you doing? You gotta kill him, and Mr. Four is all real slow, and which way did he go? Which, that sort of thing going, and he's answering her very slowly. And we wind up getting as well, Usopp goes in and he's able to dodge this one that comes in. He's like, oh, I could dodge these in my sleep. And then there's another one that comes at him, and, it's a fly ball. And he's like, oh, a fly ball. He's like, yeah, it looks like cleanup hitters can't even bat 1,000. And you go and you see this top-down view of all the different mole holes from Miss Merry Christmas, using her mole powers. And it's kind of funny because then this ball winds up hitting, and Usopp's like, I could dodge these in my sleep, And then all of a sudden the thing starts spinning and comes at him. It's almost like a heat-seeking one, So he's able to hit a number of different types, fly ball, curve ball, to take them out. So Miss Merry Christmas, basically, keeps going on with her. Come on, we got to kill them, do away with them, get them done, right? And then they go in, and he says something about Chopper and Usopp make some comment about the dog, and she's like, oh, he ate the mutt fruit, dachshund type or whatever, dachshund brand, and he's like, what the hell, and it's the newest technology of the Grand Line, and Usopp's like, what are you talking about, an inanimate object can't eat a devil fruit and then all of a sudden become alive, but apparently they can, and I think that personally is a little bit hokey, and it's going a little bit too far in the realm of ridiculousness. But again, just my opinion on that. I just think it's really, really odd seeing, a trigger on an animal that looks like it's a gun. The trigger's down where his privates would be. It's just really kind of odd, I think, and sort of silly. But again, just my opinion on that. So so we wind up seeing, you know, again, some more banter back and forth with them, and she's pretty much like, listen, it is what it is. That's how it is. I'm not going to dignify you with a response. Okay, it is alive and breathing, so we're not going to argue about why it is or whatever. You know, that's what she tells Usopp. So Usopp goes and winds up kind of going and running and coming towards them. She's trying to get towards him. Chopper goes and does the same thing, and he's thinking, man, if I can just get to him, right? Because his thought at first was they're timed, these cannonball-looking things, these baseballs, exploding baseballs, and he figures they're timed. I can just go and intercept one, basically, and throw it back at him, right? But I guess these things are heavy as hell. They're like as heavy as cannonballs, so it's not so easy to do. So Chopper's getting worried that his rumble ball that he took is going to wind up running out before, you know, before he's actually able to do anything effective. That exploding ball that wound up hitting the ground, the fly ball that wound up coming hitting the ground and then coming after Usopp, Chopper was able to handily, you know, quickly turn into his reindeer form and pull Usopp out of the way. But I mean, they're just getting bombarded by these things. So ultimately, what winds up happening is we get what's her face, Miss Merry Christmas, that winds up turning into a mole, and it's very funny too because throughout the chapter, you know, when she first appears, Usopp's like, "Oh, a mole." And she's like, I haven't turned into a mole yet, you fool. Then when she does turn into the mole, they're like, oh, is it a penguin? She's got these claws and her little beak. And she goes, no, I told you I'm a mole, damn it. So just a funny exchange, I thought. But so she winds up starting to go in tunnel, and she's able to take Mr. 4 and, of course, make him go down into a tunnel and reappear somewhere else, and then also be able to tunnel and get in behind them, because as Chopper then goes and is running towards and just thinking, if I can just get to him, right, to take him out, or just get to the dog or whatever, as he's charging him, Miss Merry Christmas comes up out of the ground and goes and grabs his leg and holds on to him. So now he's right in the direct line of fire for one of these balls that's coming at him, and it's kind of cool because right as it's about to come at him and nail him, all of a sudden he's like, whoop, he shrinks down into little Chopper, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot I can do this, you know? So then he goes and he gets up again and kind of hulks up again and goes to nail Miss Merry Christmas. And she's like, no, that's not going to happen. And she goes and you know, tunnels herself, burrows back under. While this is all happening, Usopp goes and kind of puts his little, you know, plan that we didn't even know what his plan was into play. And he goes and comes popping out all of a sudden out of one of these mole holes right behind Mr. 4, the big kind of, which way did he go? You know, great paper, that guy. And he comes up out of there and he's like, Usopp! And he's got this giant freaking hammer, right? And it says 5T on it. And he calls it the 5-ton hammer or whatever. And I have no idea how Usopp is going and swinging any type of 5-ton hammer. Now, that doesn't mean that the hammer is 5 tons. It means it's weighted to when you swing it, it has 5 tons of pressure. So for those of you that don't know a whole lot about tools, and I don't know a ton either, but I do know that the rating of hammers and mallets and things like that, sledgehammers, they're rated based on when you get a good swing going, the force that you create, what type of pounds of pressure does that create. So this is a 5-ton hammer, but you're still talking this thing to do that would probably have to be hundreds of pounds. Anyway, though, nonetheless, and I don't know if they're going to explain it or if it's some kind of, you know, Usopp's, you know, somehow he's able to pull something with his little, you know, the shit that he pulls with the stories and everything. I don't know how you could fake this one, because he comes up out of this hole with this hammer and he just, and I mean, he just flattens the top of Mr. 4's head, man. Just, you know, like a cartoon, man. Just, and it's flattened. And it looks like he takes him out over there, you know, which I thought was very cool. So he goes and he does this stuff, you know, and he's got this hammer, and then he's kind of holding it out next to him, you know, like this big badass. And Miss Merry Christmas is like, what the hell? How can he even, you know, how can that weakling even carry that 5-ton hammer? And then he goes, and the chapter ends with him going, I'm the great Captain Usopp, you know. So I don't know. I mean, we're going to see in the next chapter. Obviously, I haven't read ahead at all. I read and I record. We all know that at this point. But, it seems like there's more than meets the eye over here, because Usopp, it doesn't seem like he has the strength to swing something that big. I don't know if he's just trying to buy some time so Chopper can get in and help, or I'm sure they'll explain it to us. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but ultimately that is what my chapter question is. Is Usopp the real deal? Is he on the level with this 5-ton hammer? Or is this something where it just says 5T on it and it's actually like a damn rubber hammer or something like that? And he just looks like he temporarily just was doing that to get closer, to distract them, so maybe Chopper can get in and take him out or something. I'm not really sure. So may seem like a silly question to you, brothers and sisters, but to me, like I said, knowing that Usopp is one of the few members of the crew that is truly like just a normal human, you know, I respect his sharpshooting skills and everything like that, and his ability to weave a tale and a story. I really do. I like that about him. But we all know that he's kind of the one that would be, you know, one of the weaker ones of the group, and I just can't, you know, picture him doing what he just did, I guess. So I'm not questioning his courage, his resolve, any of that stuff, his tenacity. I'm questioning the fact that I don't think he can pick up a heavy hammer like that. So, but who knows, you know. So, remember to leave your comments, your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, nation.
So the caption for this picture should be, "Hey, look at my balls." Really?